Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the final installation of our game of Good Society, Sensibility and Swordsmanship. We have played 3 times before this, and this is the end. We have had a bit of a switch in the middle of the game because one of our players was there only for 2 sessions, and then we decided that having a big bad would be kind of a nice addition, so we have that now. Yeah, I would just go into our collaboration for a bit so that we can all start on the same foot. We have decided that the tone of our story should be romantic comedy, that historical accuracy should be somewhat important. Yeah, well, it's somewhat, little tiny somewhat. And we will have played with the gender power balance off, so that means that women can have business and have power and political office. Also, it means that we are totally able to marry a guy to a guy or a woman to another woman. And we have also decided that we will have no hidden information in the game, which is just the reason is that for that is the character keeper, where we put all the stuff, and it's hard to hide stuff on there. Also, I like games with no hidden information better. We have said that we will have no sexual violence in the game, that we won't have any violence against children and animals in the game, and that is it. We will offer playing with the X card. That means that at any time when you feel uncomfortable or anything kind of feels weird, or you don't want to have this content in the game, you can just say X, or make an X with your arms or with your fingers, or type it in the chat. You should tell us what the content you want to have X'd out is, and then you don't have to explain why. And then we'll go back, or we just take it out. You can do this retroactively, even if you yourself introduce the content. This game should be fun for all of us. And that brings us to the fact that we are playing with an open door policy. If at any point somebody has an emergency or just doesn't feel up to playing anymore, they can just say, "Hey guys, I'm going," and then there are no hard feelings. You don't have to drag yourself through this game just because you think we might expect you to do that. I'm saying this especially since Scott has a headache today, and I really hope that our gracious presence will alleviate the pain. But in case it doesn't and you feel too bad, Scott, don't worry. Everything you decide for yourself is just fine. Self-care is very important. We are playing, which I've missed saying before because I haven't run a lot of these games. We're playing from the Gauntlet calendar, which the Gauntlet is an awesome community in the internet. We play and organize lots of games on the calendar. You should really check it out at gauntlet-rpg.com. There are also podcasts, and if you become a patron, you get a monthly theme, which is really awesome, and there are other perks. Yes, so now let's start the game. We should go around and introduce ourselves and our characters. And I would start with you, Alan.
I'm Alinar. I've been playing with the Gauntlet for about 6-7 months now, I think. Time's marching on. And today I'm playing Mrs. Annabel Hargreaves. That's the Dowager playbook, inverted commas. By day, a conservatively but well-dressed widow of apparently reasonable means, though actually she is rather shorter of money than you might expect. But at night, I am the Reaper, a bounty hunter paid to keep parts of London safe. We are set in Islington, a village on the edge of London, and while the big bad is busy, I have a particular mission, which is really to kind of retire gracefully, I think, because I'm getting a bit old for this. So that is Mrs. Annabelle Hargreaves.
Thank you so much, Leandro.
Hi, my name is Leandro. Use he him pronouns. I'm gonna take this opportunity, since this is the last session of this series, to shout out the ongoing Good Society Kickstarter, an expanded acquaintance, which is this supplement, Sensibility and Swordsmanship, was part of the original Kickstarter, and now they're kickstarting 2 new supplements whose names escape me. One of them is basically Downton Abbey. The other one is Emma, apparently. I'm just want to shout it out because there are some really cool stretch goals. They just unlocked the Fey Court one. There's a really cool one on a guide to hacking Good Society, which is like, what? I didn't even know you can hack. Well, I say that I am working on something about Good Society, but like, so I would like that stretch goal. I would like some advice on how to hack Good Society. Anyway, that's all that. Storybrewers role-playing. Haley and V are great people. Check that out in a Kickstarter near you, which is the internet. So if you're watching this, you're near the internet. You can find for yourself. Anyway, I'm playing. Sorry. I'm playing Lady Justine Griffin. By day, she's the new arrival. She is a bored, disaffected wastrel of a youth, but in the public, spent a lot of time abroad. By night, she is a silent, masked a thief who steals from the rich, mainly to get rich. For the sake of it, she is the Velvet Ghost. Her fiance and love of her life has just left town, seemingly forever. So she's in a mood. She is in dire straits, and she's looking to take it out on some people, presumably for no real reason other than she needs to vent. So that's her deal right now.
Very nice. I'm very curious to see what she's up to. Scott, how about you?
Scott, he, him pronouns. I'm playing Hugh Botham. Also he, him pronouns. Also, along with my headache, I have the hiccups. So if I hiccup while talking now or in the game, laugh it up, fuzzball. Nothing I can do about it. I'm Hugh Botham, he, him, and he is the Lancashire lover by night. He's known as more than a bit of a cad, more than a bit of a lover boy, a raconteur around town. Recently, he has behaved so poorly in public that he's no longer considered marriageable material, which is a shame because he, above all else, would love to marry Lord Griffin. And so we'll see if he's able to pull that off. The Lancashire lover is a bringer of love. He loves love beyond all else. The reputation of Hugh is all an act to a subterfuge to prevent people from connecting the two. And so we shall see what happens with Hugh and the Lancashire lover.
Yes, and I will introduce myself, which I have not done before. My name is Sabine. I use any pronouns. I have been trying to facilitate this game, but with these amazing players who know all kinds of stuff, that has been really, really, really easy. What Leandro said about the Kickstarter, the games are called Downstairs at the Abbey and Emma Forget-Me-Not. The one is, as I said, about servants. The other is about a more long-term game, because I think Good Society is meant to be played through a summer or a season, and Emma Forget-Me-Not is meant to play over years and maybe even generations. I don't know. I am playing in this game. I'm playing Lord Cedric Griffin, who is the twin brother of Lady Justine. He is the object of affection for you, Botham. I am not sure if he really wants to have anything to do with this person who seems not just to have a terrible reputation, but seems to be, he seems to try to drag others down with him, and that's that is not where Lord Cedric sees himself going, especially since he is playing with the careerist playbook, and that means that he has a job, even though he's a peer, but his sister is the elder, she will inherit, he won't inherit anything, and probably he doesn't know if he can count on his sister's benevolence. So he has a job at the Ministry of War. He's been the secretary to this Minister of War, but maybe there might be a job opening for the Prime Minister to be the secretary of the Prime Minister, which would be amazing, which is also the plan, the evil plan of our big bad, who is the Viscountess Griffin and who is also the mother of Justine and Cedric. Yeah, that's a bit confusing, but if you shouldn't watch this if you haven't seen the other three. Really, you should see the other three. They're fun. Okay. Oh, and he's also the Justice Phantom, who runs around the city by night and tries to bring justice to the people. Yes. Well. Okay. And talking about running around by night, that's what we're going to do now. We have cycled through one cycle of play. Yay! We ended with the upkeep, and now we are in another rooftop phase. That means that that is during the night, and we will see our masked characters doing things. I'm curious to see what we will be doing. Does anybody have an idea?
I do. Given that almost all the dentist yesterday. Rooftop action has taken place in Bedford Square, where everyone seems to have a townhouse. I'm just wondering. We know the Griffins have a townhouse in Bedford Square, and I'm just wondering whether we know also in the fiction that Annabelle Hargreaves' nighttime character, the Reaper, has a contract to combat crime in Bedford Square, its vicinity. I'm just wondering if it would be really interesting to have her patrolling and notice that Viscountess Griffin, our big bad, in a conversation with her lieutenant in her nefarious scheme to take control of the country, Lord Dartmouth. So I'm just wondering whether there's a way to structure this so that the Reaper could perhaps learn something that would connect them to the recently announced in the Times murder of the Prime Minister's private secretary. Now, how I do that, I need you to tell me, but that's the idea.
I think you would have to spend a resolve token. Yeah.
Then consider it spent. Do I give it to somebody, or is this just to make something to set that scene?
I think you should give it to the Viscountess, actually, because she's the big bad and she's a bit more important in that scheme of things.
Fine. I have good God, the big bad has 4 resolve tokens.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's asking for trouble. So yeah, so I think that as I stalk the rooftops, I notice an open French window on the upper floor in the ladies' withdrawing room of the Griffin townhouse. and there I see the profile of Lord Dartmouth, who I know because in my daytime I know because he has paid the Reaper well to break up a relationship between Hugh Botham and his very young daughter. The fact that in the end the Reaper didn't actually engineer much of that doesn't matter. She's claimed the success, and so I recognize them both. And it's I'm surprised to see them in conversation. So, being a nosy Parker, I will lower myself to the balcony outside the French window and listen in.
Viscountess, seems to me that the plan has been put into motion a bit hastily, don't you think?
Sorry, that's me. Brain fart. In what way do you think?
It just seems to me that I would have thought that we had maybe a few careful months to plant some seeds, but an outright... Well, the way Mr. De Courcy went out is quite bold, quite brazen, if you don't mind me saying.
And one of you might spend now a resolve token to notice that to have the Dowager make some kind of noise as she realized what you are talking about.
I want to hear what the Viscount has to say to that, just to make it stick a bit more.
Okay. Yes, I would have preferred much more planning. However, that dastardly Lancashire lover stole my husband's letters. We risk exposure if he makes the connections.
These masked phantasms, they're a plague on this square. They make us hard-working individuals. They make life hard for us hard-working individuals, do they not?
I would be okay with them if one of them were in my employ, but that has not happened.
I'm sure there's a vagabond or two willing to do whatever, willing to sing whatever tune we want them to sing for the right amount of coin. It just so happens this square is plagued by those who believe in justice.
Justice.
Would that be a good point for me to stumble if somebody were to give me a resolve token?
That probably is a good time to...
and perhaps just displace a tile from the bay window above which the balcony is placed, and there's a kind of skitter crash from the French windows onto the balcony, and the Reaper goes.
Yeah, I think. I think Lord Dartmouth kind of comes to the window and he's got a pistol out.
Oh, that's simply not cricket. So,
speaking of vagabonds,
I will disarm him.
Oh shit!
I've been wanting to get that out for the last week. Now, again, you'll have to help me with any resolution here. But certainly, a pistol is certainly not cricket.
So the way that conflict goes in the rooftop scene is we do a negotiation, basically.
Yeah.
So the people playing those characters negotiate on what the desired outcome is.
I've given myself a resolve token for that stumble and crash. Is that okay? I don't know where it came from, but I've given it to me.
I'll give it to you from Mr. Dartmouth.
So negotiate away.
You just have to say your desired outcome. What is
So
your desired outcome?
The
in the scene?
Viscountess's desired outcome is to have gotten out the door before being seen.
And I guess that the Reaper's desired outcome is to surprise him and disarm him,
Mhm.
i.e., for him not to come out all secret-like.
Who, Lord Dartmouth?
Lord Dartmouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so long as the Viscountess can get away, and so the Reaper knows that Lord Dartmouth was talking to a woman that might sound familiar, but Lord Dartmouth did most of the talking, so maybe, yeah, you'll know that there is a conspiracy afoot. Lord Dartmouth is one half of it, but maybe the Viscountess Griffin gets away.
I did spend a resolve token to set this up in
Yeah,
the ladies' retiring room of the Griffin household.
What I would do is keep that resolve token because it's the rooftop scene, right? This was the scene you wanted. Keep that because if we don't agree, we bid with them.
Okay.
You want to take that back. So is your desired outcome to also see her to ensure? I mean, you know her voice, but do you want final confirmation?
No, I don't think I'll go that far then.
So it doesn't sound like we have any conflict among everybody's desired result, right?
Seems to be like that, yes.
So I leave the room and you guys play out the scene.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Hands raised. Got your rapier. It's just like, speaking of vagabonds of justice.
So, is it not Lord Dartmouth? Or rather, is it not Lord Dartmouth?
Oh, why pretend that you do not know this countenance, especially given the correspondence we've had, Reaper?
Of course, yes. And I was grateful for the payment in return for my successful breaking up. But I am concerned, Lord Dartmouth, over what I have just heard. Such discussion of plots.
Oh, why so concerned? You know, Bedford Square is rife with plots. Who is it to you to decide that whatever is happening here is worth your attention, given that you've already proven that your brand of justice comes with a price?
All things of great value have a price, Lord Dartmouth.
What's yours?
I was very grateful for the initial payment. Perhaps a similar payment would secure my silence.
I think he smiles at that and reaches into his coat. And how did they carry money in this time? I was gonna say he's gonna pull out a checkbook.
I think guineas for consumables, but I think we have paper money. They're just rather large and almost signed as an individual bill, I think.
Well, since you've served me quite well, I don't see any harm in further reimbursement. And he kind of reaches to the coat and takes out, I guess, notes. Notes. And he kind of carefully puts it in the ground between the two. And he looks up and just says, "Sincerely, though, I do appreciate the work you've done for my daughter. She deserved better than that lout."
Indeed, I agree. The protection of young women is above all things important. And with that, I think I'll skewer the pile of notes and somersault off the balcony.
Jeez, I didn't know Mrs. Hargreaves had a price.
And that for me does the scene as far as I'm concerned at this point.
So Mrs. Hargreaves knows there is a plot afoot, But
And
she's
she
been
knows that Lord Dartmouth is prepared to pay a not insignificant sum to keep it quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Cool. I think I might want to have a scene with the Justice Phantom and the Velvet Ghost.
Ooh, interesting. What's the Phantom doing? I know what the Ghost is doing, but I want to know so we can.
I think what I would like to have something kind of in medias res, that he has apprehended her in the middle of a burglary or something, and now we have a chase or something like that.
Yeah, I think you find the Velvet Ghost coming out of the home of Mrs. Annabelle Hargreaves, who's come in, and we mentioned this last session. She got into like a fairly distraught monologue about how that's why Freddy was all sad because of you. You put her in there, that hovel, you monster. So yeah, I think she's come in and stolen a bunch of letters and some goods, and maybe some. I'm prepared to pay you a token.
I
Alan.
mean, just to remind the fiction, the key to revealing my civilian identity, a carefully maintained log of all my jobs and victories kept in a secret place in my manor.
Oh, I'm not even interested in that. I'm interested in the letter you didn't send about your daughter. Yeah. So I'm prepared to give you a token so that the Velvet Ghost can abscond with that.
I'll gratefully take the token.
Yeah, I see you're impoverished for tokens at the moment. Okay, so yes, I'm down for a chase. What is the Justice Phantom must be yelling something.
Of course, he is. He has been going out because I think Miss Hargreaves, does Mrs. Hargreaves' house is in Islington, right? It's not in Bedford Square.
That's right, and the local gentry pay a lot less than Bedford Square. So as an up and coming bounty hunter, it's the best work you can get, I think.
Well, I'd be willing to discuss that with this Reaper person, but as I had a good time at that party, and I think somebody should keep an eye out on these people in Islington. Also standing around on the rooftop and thinking about what to do about you and what to do about my career and my sister. And oh my God, there is a person coming out of a window, and that doesn't seem very legal at all. And they wear a mask, and that's, well, So I will shout out, hold there! Who goes there?
I think again, Justine is she's not at her tip-top best, so when she hears that, she can't help it. She just shouts, "Piss off!" and starts running across like the rooftops.
I think it's running, then it must be a criminal. So of course the Justice Phantom will run after. What's the word for running after somebody? There's an English word for that. I'm pretty sure that is.
Pursue?
Pursue.
Yes, pursue. Yes, right, pursue. Sorry. Yeah, the Justice Phantom will pursue you.
Okay. All right.
And shout, of course, stand and answer for your crimes.
Again, you hear, piss off. I need to make her say
language.
I need to make her say narc, but that term doesn't exist in that time. Piss off, narc. I think
language.
Okay, I think when you say language, she says, "Piss off, shit heel."
Really, there are children sleeping in these rooms.
Okay, so I guess what do you want the outcome to be as we're kind of running around?
I think I wanted a kind of a duel or something like that.
Down for that. I'm down for you being cornered, and then we can discuss again what the outcome of that duel.
Huh. I don't know. I think we both should realize something about the other, something familiar, because I mean, we know each other. We're twins, even though we haven't seen each other for a while, but there's something oddly familiar. And of course, you should get away.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Unless you want to reveal your masked self.
I kind of want to play out this whatever conversation we have in this duel, and then I'll decide then.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
so
right. I have this birthmark.
Yeah, the key to reviewing mine is the character you play. So I don't know.
Wait, what's the key? Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I have this birthmark, so you might recognize that.
Okay. Yeah, I think in the middle of the running, I shout out like, "Who the hell are you anyway?" Like, don't you have a bed to sleep in?
I am the Justice Phantom, and you should stand and answer for your crimes. There's been too much of this breaking into houses going around in the city, and I won't stand for it.
I think that's when I kind of. Oh, go on.
No, I don't remember you. You remember me.
Yeah, exactly.
You knocked me out.
Exactly.
But I don't know that was you.
I think I think I stopped, and we're moonlight is shining down on us on this rooftop, and I kind of turn. I have this satchel where I have the letter and all the stuff. And I kind of just turn and look at you, and I just see, oh, it's that prick. It's the one trying to chase down Freddy, and I kind of look at you and it's like, oh, it's you, the Justice Phantom. I should have given you a harder blow to the head. And she kind of pulls out. Sorry, Sabine, this will be the second time in this week where you're going to be confronted with a character with 2 daggers. I didn't plan for that, but it's just going to happen. That's what the Velvet Ghost has. She has 2 daggers.
That's fine. I have one. Of course, I have one rapier, but I know how to handle myself. I had some training because I am a noble person. So I will, of course, take the stance and say, it was you who hit me over the head at the mansion.
Yeah. Ah, yes. That is me. Because wait, I think she Velvet Ghost laughs. Yeah. You went down pretty quickly for someone who seeks to practice justice.
Well, I did not expect the murderous co-conspirator to sneak up on me from behind. I had 2 foes already.
That's the first lesson you should learn about practicing what we do, Phantom. Always expect the unexpected. I'm going to throw a dagger at your face.
Yes, I will go out. My rapier will go up and deflect the dagger. I say, I expect that you are up to no good now, and I expect that you are a murderer as well.
I think the ghost like, I merely do what everyone else is doing, which is live their life to the fullest. I'm sorry if there are pricks like you who can't just let people like me have fun.
Fun? My uncle was murdered. My cousin was murdered. And you think that is fun?
Ooh, when you say that, the ghost's eyes widen.
Yeah, I kind of betrayed myself there. I don't care. Emotion.
I think at that moment when I think the ghost like concentration slackens and you get a hit in on the cheek. So there's not like a wound there.
Yes.
And,
very cool.
Yeah. So next time you see Justine, maybe I don't know. I think it's like, oh, boo hoo hoo. Everyone loses someone, you know. What are you gonna do? Cry about every single death that happens in this city?
No, I will try to bring those who are responsible to justice, because life is not about fun and games.
Well, maybe you should learn this quick, Phantom. Life's nothing but life. Life's nothing but what you make of it. And if you want to make it all about hardship and pain, that's your loss.
I want to make it about honor and consequences.
Good luck with that. I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think. I don't know how she escapes. Smoke bomb. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, well, maybe she's just, I don't know, throws another dagger and he has to deflect that, and then she can just
Yeah.
jump off the roof and and then he's chasing her, but she gets away.
Yeah.
Dark alleys, dark, narrow alleys, and he gets confused in those dark and narrow alleys, and she knows her way and he doesn't.
Yeah. Turns out it's hard to break away from someone you're running on rooftops because you can see where they are, where they're going.
Yes, it's true. Cool. I think that's scene. I'm looking forward to seeing you, Justine.
I think it's only Hugh left with a scene to frame.
The Lancashire lover.
So I think I want to frame a scene. The Lancashire lover was actually staying at, let's see, where was he? So he was at his place, so he would be heading, I think he's heading towards Lord Griffin's townhouse to keep an eye on him. And I'd like to frame a scene that he spies in some way the Justice Phantom around that area. So that's obviously, you know, it's up to you. And then how I see you is up to you, whether I see you going in or out or just scurrying and you know, you spot me. But I was trying to frame a scene with them.
Okay, cool. I think when Cedric, the Justice Phantom, returns to Bedford Square, well, there was the rumor, right, that crime was on the rise in Bedford Square, so he keeps an eye out for ne'er-do-wells. He's pretty distracted, though, because of this encounter with this velvet ghost person. And he's trying to puzzle out where he knows that voice from. So he isn't really paying much attention to his surroundings.
All right. And then you see skulking on your own rooftop a figure dressed in black. You catch hints of burgundy on the inside of a waist-length cape. And I think I see you. Do you see me?
I think so, yes. I mean, I'm not very alert, but burgundy cape and you're standing there. I see you.
Okay, so I'm going to try to escape, but only half try to escape. I'm hoping that that the Justice Phantom will give chase.
Of course, because it's the right thing to do.
Okay, so and you pounce upon the slowed, the on purpose Lancashire lover, and I have been waiting for you to catch me. I've been waiting so long for this.
Is that something you say? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, well, explain your purpose.
I was hoping to see you tonight. Ever since I saw you the other night, I would be out of character the night where Agatha's character was involved. I've not been able to get you out of my thoughts.
Oh, that is not a crime.
No, love is not a crime. Love is wonderful.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
I don't know. I don't. You know, love is very complicated. There's this person I feel attracted to, but I think he's a terrible person.
Why, I happen to have some love poetry here. I could share it with you. You could mail it to him. I'm sure even a horrible person would come around for the right person. Sometimes people act one way in public and another way in private. You never know.
Yes, but the truth is that I cannot disregard the eye of the public. How can I? You cannot live your life in isolation. I'm not rich enough to be that eccentric and caring about society.
Are you not the justice phantom? Is there justice in society judging people?
Yes, of course there is.
How is that justice? If you feel the love for a person, be it a man, a woman, anywhere in between, that love, it's greater than society's wants.
But not greater than justice. And I have give justice to my station and my family. Why is family so complicated?
They just are. I'm glad to not be burdened by that weight.
Oh, no, it is a weight, but it's your weight. You know, I have this sister. She's terrible, but I love her. And I want her to be happy. And I don't know, she never seems happy. And I don't know what I can do.
Just listen when she talks.
She doesn't. She usually just looks at things and says snarky things. It's not really talking.
It is complex.
Yes.
Even the love between siblings is complex, but it is still love. If she knows that you love her, she will appreciate that.
Of course she knows that. How can she not? I'm her brother.
As you cannot put expectations on this scallywag that you love, you cannot place expectations on her. You can just be there and be loving. And one day she will show you the appreciation that you desire.
That appears to be just. I'm not sure about the scallywag, though.
So in exchange for this love advice, you will let me go tonight?
Well, have you stolen anything? Except maybe my good sense?
Not tonight. No, not tonight.
Well, then, justice must be served and you must be let go.
Thank you. Cannot wait to see you again.
I would enjoy that. But now I will go and find some evildoer I can catch and deliver to justice. Can't be that hard.
And when you turn, is your birthmark visible when you're in your costume or not?
It's usually not, but I've had a duel, and I've ran after the Velvet Ghost, and then I ran after you. So it might be that my shawl that usually covers it.
I will give you a token for it.
Oh yeah, give me a token. I love tokens.
I am giving you a token.
Yes, please.
That is the last piece of information you needed.
Oh my God, I have so many tokens.
Yeah, you're token rich. I had 5, so now you're good. And I think that's a scene. That's a good scene.
Yes, yes. Cool.
That's great, Leandro.
Yeah, I imagine it like that too. So cool. Okay. We have done the rooftop phase. Now we do another novel phase. What do we want to do? Do we want to have an event, or do we have individual visitations? I think I would like another event.
Yeah, I like the events.
Just so we can push the whole evil plot further as well. So maybe we can have the funeral of Mr. de Courcy, or the wake.
Good call. That's an interesting one. Yeah, because everyone will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's anyone?
Yes.
So then the question. So the question would be: is who does the big bad want to kill first?
The Courcy, but
so
he's
Reginald
dead.
would be there. So yeah, I think of either the So he's already dead, right?
Yes.
Okay, so she's and the Prime Minister will be there. That's a very good scene.
Yes.
And it's a chance for someone to whisper in the Prime Minister's ear that the Secretary of War is terribly effective.
Yeah, I think this is a good scene to have.
Cedric will be there being terribly affected, like, we know he will be.
Cedric is kind of down because, and he has to talk to his sister. That's important.
And presumably the Reverend Plunkett will be performing the rites.
Yes. And he will do so very beautifully and mention rare birds only twice.
Right. So that gives a reason for Annabelle Hargreaves to be there, because that church is on her patch.
She got that letter from the Reverend about Lady Justine, right?
All right.
Yeah, and also like when the Reaper comes home, she will notice like she'd been burgled.
I'm losing track of the various clues now.
I think we're all kind of in place for some folks to realize some folks' identities.
Yeah, it's just how, if at all, they want to use them. Do they want to use them publicly? But I mean, I think we're all now aware that there's some kind of conspiracy going on, right? I think all of us know that.
I don't think so. Cedric doesn't know that. He is.
I think.
Sorry, the kids don't know that their mother is a machinating master mistress mind.
Yeah,
didn't. I thought that the Velvet Ghost knew something was going on.
No, she's wrapped up in her own bullshit.
Okay.
I think only Mrs. Hargreaves knows, and she's been bought off.
No, the Lancashire lover had the letters, so you know that something is going on here. And maybe Cedric has been made aware that there might be a position for him with the Prime Minister, but that's all that he knows. He doesn't know anything that this is actually an evil plot.
Okay, so we've got 2. All right. I think all of my characters potentially have a reason for being there. So just if anybody wants to use them, obviously the Viscountess is there.
Cedric's boss. Lord Dartmouth will be there because he's a lord. Orlando might. They might. if anyone wants to talk to them.
The only one we might struggle to involve is Helene Sapolsky.
That's fine. We don't need to involve.
No.
I don't think we do need to have everyone.
No, Helen doesn't go to these kinds of affairs. You can have the after party at her place. That would be a lot more fun than this Wakefield.
Yeah, I think that's Justine's like idea. Like, oh my god, why am I here?
I think all funerals should have an after party.
So I think that in the fiction, the largest house in the vicinity is the Dartmouth country estate. So I'd like to suggest that it is the Dartmouths who are hosting the arrangements. Let's assume that poor old de Courcy was pretty much without family, and therefore Laurentia Blythe and the Prime Minister have prevailed upon Lord Dartmouth, who's known to be an absolute supporter of the government, to host the funeral arrangements. Yeah,
Sounds good. Very nice. So everybody's dressed in black again, I guess, because it's a funeral.
yeah.
Feels weirdly like something we might do in the night. But hey, that's probably just, I'm pretty overtired. And my characters too.
I think I'd like a scene between Mrs. Hargreaves and Cedric.
Okay, I want a scene with my sister and
Well,
her
yeah.
beautiful cut up face, but I'll do the scene with Miss Hargreaves first, of course.
And I think that we have met, we've been introduced, but I think I will share some concerns with the younger Griffin about the potential risk of crime around Bedford Square, because there is a rumor in motion, isn't there? Crime is out of control in Bedford Square.
There's also a rumor that there is a new outlaw, the Justice Phantom, hanging around Bedford
Indeed.
Square.
And my view that probably this crime wave is all down to this Justice Phantom, and the sooner some vigilante or bounty hunter deals with this curse, this criminal curse on Bedford Square, the better for all of us. Because, for instance, the terrible damage to your own window the week before last, and such like, it's terrible, absolutely appalling, Lord Griffin.
It is indeed, yes, it is indeed. But I believe that do we have Scotland Yard yet?
We have the Bow Street Runners.
I believe that the Bow Street Runners are very well placed to take care of this in an official capacity. I do not like, personally, to see masked vigilantes hopping about the roofs of our fair city.
Oh, fie, Lord Cedric. The Bow Street Runners are underfunded and overstretched. They can't possibly stay ahead of the kind of crime that's plaguing Bedford Square.
Maybe, but I do not believe that people who are afraid to show their face in the daytime are the right persons to take care of such things. Maybe we should be thinking of a stronger and better equipped police force. Miss Hargreaves, I believe you are onto something there.
And I understand that soon gossip suggests that you may be soon be in a position to influence national policy even more than you do already.
I couldn't say anything about that.
I could say, but you couldn't possibly comment, presumably. No, right? To see.
Oh well, I am merely the secretary to the Minister of War at this point, and a very junior one, as is.
Well, the first thing then I would ask, as soon as you get into your career is rocketing. Everyone tells me that you are the coming man. As soon as you do have the ear of those in power, I urge you to set a reward for this rogue, this Justice Phantom, and I'd like to offer a resolve token to get a rise out of Cedric. As I keep prodding that.
Okay, so he will. Can see that he is getting a flush in his face. You can't see the birthmark because he wears this high collar, but you can see that he's starting to flush, and he says, "Well, I believe we have more important problems. There has been this vigilante of the Reaper hanging about around Bedford Square like an oversized bat, and I believe that that might be dealt with as well. But really, I believe England has more pressing problems, like the French, for example."
There is nothing more pressing than the law.
True, very true. And our nation's glory.
And I think at that point, Mrs. Hardgreaves will go away thinking, he responded slightly strangely to be pressing on that fool, the Justice Phantom. How odd. And scene.
Yeah, that was greatly helpful to restore Cedric's equilibrium.
And now I want to see War of Twins.
Oh yes, please. I will go and seek out Justine.
Oh, you want to do this now? Okay.
Sure. How much is the cut on your face visible?
Terribly visible.
Okay.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm just trying to imagine where this is. I'm imagining this is kind of, maybe it starts off like in the middle of the crowd, and then I think you see me walking out of like the hall and heading towards like, I don't know, near the water closet. This is like this like fairly abandoned looking hallway.
I will call to you. Justine, do you have a moment?
No, not really, Cedric. I must go. There's the body calls.
Oh, I will wait, of course.
I think when I walk into the water closet, I see the windows are bolted shut. It's like, oh, God. And as soon as I see that, it's like, all right, fine, okay. And I just walk out far too quickly to actually use the water closet. And I think I'm going to see you.
I don't think I realized that. I mean, women, bodies, weird, you know. But I'll look at you and say, Justine, what happened to your face? It's terrible. Did you?
Oh, I just cut myself shaving. It's a fad over in New York. All the ladies were doing it.
That looks like... And I'll give you a resolve token to realize that that cut is actually a rapier's cut.
I'll take it, sure. You want to dispense in your tokens before the game is over.
Yeah, I want to spend some of my token. Also, I want to realize what happened.
Yeah.
And that looks like somebody cut you with a rapier. And you didn't have that last evening.
No, a lot of things can happen in the evenings, brother. I'm surprised you'd take you this long to notice.
Yeah, I did. Well, I did not think that was why you were always so tired in the mornings.
I'm just always tired. You know, it's just exhausting being here. Cedric, to have been gone for so long and then have to come back here and subject myself to our parents again. It's tiring. It's supremely tiring.
So, well, what would you rather do? What kind of amusement would satisfy you?
Anything but this.
I would like to help you if I can.
Really?
I have the sense that you are very unhappy. And I would like to see you more happy. And I wouldn't like to see you caught by some vigilante or something. I'm worried, Justine.
Have to be worried of vigilantes these days. They can't even like, you know, aim for the heart straight. They have to go for the face. You don't do that. You know, you don't do that. It's fine. It's completely fine, Cedric.
It's not. It's not. I mean, I don't even know what you want. You're the heir of the family's estate. You just have to wait, and then everything will be yours.
What happens during that wait, then? I have to go to these funerals, I have to attend tea parties or whatever, I have to be prim and proper. Like you, Cedric. Like, you work. You go out there and do your duty for Queen and Country or whatever. You keep busy. You attract
You
suitors.
have them. Suitors. Who have I attracted? And don't say you Botham. I can talk to him.
Good. You don't talk to him. Just don't.
And you can make your way in the world if the inheritance is not enough for you. Join the military. Go to foreign countries. Kill foreign people. And for the king.
I've done that. Well, not mostly the killing part. I try not to do that. But I've traveled. But this name, Griffin, it called me back for some reason, and now I'm here. And I'm afraid that I'll be stuck here. Aren't you afraid of that? Being stuck here?
Well, mostly I'm afraid of being stuck here with no options. And that's why I have a job, because if you inherit, then everything is then I would be dependent on you. And I don't want that.
You don't want to be dependent on me?
I guess not. I love you, Justine, but you have this wild streak.
I wouldn't depend on me either, I guess. If I could just go, I probably would. I just wasn't sure that... I wasn't sure if leaving this all to you was what you wanted. Like, I love you as well, Cedric. To be honest, I wasn't sure if you would be up for it.
I don't know if I'm up for it, but if it was mine, you could depend on me. You know that.
I think I didn't know that until now.
but you can.
I think she's gonna move in to give you a hug.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's seen.
Yeah. So much for war, huh?
Well, can't come to that.
No, I can't. No, I can. It's Hugh. Hugh must be around here, right?
Hugh is here. Trying to. The negative is Hugh knows, and I'm also the Viscount, the Viscountess. Let's see. I think so. Hugh is going to be. Hugh is going to approach.
I mean, one of us can play the Viscountess if you want that scene.
Yeah. Let's have a scene with Hugh and the Reaper and the Viscountess.
Because I think Annabelle Hargreaves would quite like to work out whether, in fact, it was the Viscountess that she heard in conversation with Lord Dartmouth,
Right.
if nothing else.
Yeah, that's why I think it'd be good for her to be at the scene. Who would like to play the Viscountess?
I've been in all these scenes.
All right, Leandro, it's you, man.
All right. Okay. Oh, I get to be a bad guy. Whoa! What a change.
Yeah.
Actually, before we start this, can I actually take like a 5-minute break? I need to go pee, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Of course, we use the water closet.
Yeah, I actually do. Now that I mentioned it, like I shouldn't have mentioned that. Now I really need to go.
Okay, so let's see each other back in 20 past the hour, right?
Okay. Cool.
Okay. See you.
What happens if we put the Viscount and the Reverend together in a scene? Will it be too much?
Yeah, I think we should save that for some kind of aftermath when they are discussing the terrible affair or the terrible affairs that are happening, and then everybody can just listen to these two talk. And birds.
Fair.
Birds.
Yeah, birds. No, birds are important.
Very important, yes. Too bad I know just about 3 English names for birds. So, well.
We'd be very impressed if the Reverend knew the German names for birds, though, wouldn't we?
Ooh.
Yes, but the truth is I know lots of words for birds, but I have no idea what these birds do.
But then neither do we. It's perfect.
Oh, okay, very well.
So I'm looking at bird facts. I should close this tab.
Okay, let's forget about the birds for a moment. And I think we wanted a scene with you and the Viscountess and with Mrs. Hargreaves listening in. Is that it?
I think
cool. So go.
Yep.
Play.
Okay, so let's see. Hugh approaches the Viscountess. Viscountess, I would like to speak with you on 2 matters, if I may.
You are Hugh Botham. Is that true?
Yes, I am. I'm pleased that you know my name.
Well, my son, Cedric, seems to have spent quite some time in your company as of late. And I confess, Mr. Botham, your name is bandied around these circles with some abandon lately.
It's understandable. It's understandable. Still, though, I come to ask for Hugh's hand in marriage.
You mean Cedric?
Cedric.
Yeah.
You think the guy would know his own name? He's dated so many people he doesn't even remember his own name. I've come to ask for Cedric's hand in marriage. I would appreciate your blessing.
She's staring at you as if to say, go on.
Is that a yes?
Mr. Botham, tell me, what does my son Cedric do for a living?
It matters not to me. It only matters.
Well, it should. If you seek to hold him to your bosom as your lawfully married other half, then perhaps you should take interest on what he does and how far his station will rise.
I would love to do that. But first, I have a second matter that I wish to speak with you on.
Oh.
Yes, your dear husband's journals make for some interesting reading.
Well, my dear husband.
Tell me, please, what is the relationship between yourself and Lord Dartmouth? What is it that you have planned?
Our relationship is nothing more than the cordial, respectful kind you'll find between those of our class, Mr. Botham.
So your husband is wrong in assuming that there is some conspiracy between the two of you.
Mr. Botham, might I direct you to my husband, the Viscount Luther Griffin? And she's gonna wave her hand. And Alan, what's Luther Griffin doing right now? As she directs.
I think he's probably drinking.
Well, Annabelle's there, so Alan is Annabelle right now. So
Yeah, I just want a quick shot of Luther. Like
all Mrs. Hargreaves is doing is while eating a sandwich, listening.
it sounds like you need to pay a token for that.
I was invited into the scene.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I think probably we see Luther Griffin, Viscount Luther Griffin, on the other side of the room, expounding. Terribly good chap, Courcy. Terribly good chap, Courcy. Terribly sad. Terribly sad. Terribly sad.
I think after she's done that, she just raises an eyebrow and says, "Whatever my husband dreams up, well, he dreams up plenty. He dreams of plenty. And if you seek to rest your case on his, Mr. Botham, rest assured that you will be annihilated should you try."
So back to my first question. Do I have your blessing to marry your son? Be very careful in answering. Only I can stop the parcel that is heading to the newspaper this very moment.
Okay, that sounds like a token. To reveal that. Wow.
Well, he could be lying.
He could be lying.
You
Well,
never know.
He is an infamous rake and therefore liar.
yeah, a rake and a liar. Well, I think we can collaborate on this, Scott. Do you think the Viscountess would? I mean, I know you want her to give you her blessing.
So, I mean, she's pretty severe. If she were to give in, she'd definitely want revenge.
Yeah, I think I know.
It would be like for what is it, a Pyrrhic victory? It would be, yeah, he gets the permission, but then she starts plotting to destroy him as well as, the prime minister or whatever. This doesn't end well for him unless, other things happen.
Yeah.
But I know Hugh hasn't worked that out, so.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that I was looking at the chat, Sabine. If she gives in, that would be the next thing to do. And I think that she gives you this kind of like, no, I don't think she smiles. She doesn't smile. Her lip curdles. There we go. And she says that you may not like what will ensue once you receive my blessing.
Love can be nothing but beautiful. It is the most powerful force.
You might find, Mr. Botham, given my experience, I can say this with some expertise, that love hurts.
Yes, I did read your husband's journals. They did discuss more than just that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like that's where the scene kind of ends. Just as like,
I'd like to pay a token. I think perhaps Luther Griffin's token, because I think he may well have reported to the Reaper the loss, the burglary, and the loss of these papers. And so this in Annabelle's mind would therefore allow her to associate Hugh Botham with whoever stole those documents. Do you want to take that token, Scott, for Hugh? Fine.
Yeah.
I've taken it off Luther, and I've given it to you just to make sure that you don't have. I want you to have plenty of tokens, obviously.
Well,
and I think.
Oh, go on.
Oh, go on.
No, I'm just thinking that what the Viscountess is going to do is like she's gonna like meet eyes with Lord Dartmouth, and she's just gonna nod at Hugh's direction.
Right, that's actually a pretty good end for the scene there, unless Annabelle wants to do more. That's Hugh's end for the scene. He'll walk off.
I think that Annabelle can't but turn to the Viscountess, who could now be Scott again, and say to the Viscountess, my lady, I couldn't but overhear. He is an appalling rake, you know, and there really should be a price on his head.
Yes, something. There should be some punishment for the kind of man he is. How he keeps coming to these events is beyond me.
Barefaced cheek, my lady. Barefaced cheek.
He puts a black mark on all of us in society.
Well, there are some very reputable keepers of the peace and pursuers of evildoers in London.
Well, if you could put me into contact with one of those, perhaps I have some coin for them.
Indeed. Curtsy and walk away to talk to Luther Griffin.
All right. And then that would be when she nods, looks at Lord Dartmouth and nods over in Hugh's direction and gives a...
You want to talk to do you want to talk to Luther in your head, or should somebody play Luther?
I hadn't thought of that. Someone could play Luther, because I think it's a very short scene. It is simply approach the Viscount, who I know as the Reaper, but he doesn't know I am the Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've just had a very I feel I have to tell you, my lord, that I've just heard a very distressing conversation between between Hugh Botham and your wife.
What? He's here. He approached my that won't be that won't stand. No. I will talk to someone. No.
And that's all Annabelle wanted to do, really, was just stir the pot.
Yeah. And I guess you can be the Viscount storming off and doing something about you Botham then.
Oh yes, I hadn't thought of that. Yes, so Luther will storm across the room and poke Botham in the chest. You will stay away from my wife, oh, damn cad! Horsewhip, horsewhip.
Sir, my business is done with her. She has given me permission to marry your son, as is her right by society.
I'm kind of waiting for someone to spend a token for me to have an apoplectic fit.
Facilitator has
I will voluntarily. Luther Griffin.
Don't forget though, you can use my negative reputation tags to make any scene worse for me.
Oh right. Oh good. Fine. Then I mean I'm not entirely certain how this could be worse for you, but we'll see. A notorious rake causes brain hemorrhage in Peer of the Realm, I think is what we're looking at here.
One of mine is unrestrained, so you could pay a token. You could use it to have me, act in a way that, the rakish thing is one thing, but to for me to maybe flip out on him or something.
I see. I hadn't quite realized that. Right. Okay. So Luther is going, it goes pink, then red, then purple. And at that point, I will convert that reputation tag.
And so Hugh stands as tall as he can and in as loud a voice as he can. Your station means nothing to me, man. You cannot come here and tell me this. Your wife has given me permission to marry her son, and I will. And Hugh storms off, having made a horrible scene.
And Luther Griffin is on the ground, having an apoplectic fit.
I would like to spend a token for Cedric to be there and intervene on his father's behalf, but in vain.
I think in time to see what caused the fit. I think Jin just came in just in time to see Hugh.
I see you shouting at him, and that she has my mother's permission to marry me, and then my father keels over, and I go over, and well, we're at the funeral anyway. And no, wait, that would be just something that Justine would say, not Cedric. So he will go over and try to help his father, but he has not the first idea what he's doing, and he will then shout, "Somebody get a doctor."
Don't we just all wish we'd created a doctor as a collection?
No, it's the Reverend who runs over.
Oh yeah, the Reverend runs over. That's great. And he will give to Cedric lots of useless advice, like you have to do something, like pray, and then yes.
If he was a robin, you would stroke his breast gently.
Yes.
If he was a robin.
It's the wrong color though. Robins are more orangey than that. This is more of that's an amazing color. I wonder what bird.
Robins are brown with an orange breast. They're like squirrels around here. They're everywhere.
Yes, but
I mean, can anything else happen in this after party for a funeral apart from setting up another one?
Well, I guess that could be the scene with we will end with Luther on the floor and everybody crowding around him and calling for doctors. Jin is always helpful. Yes, that's what the Reverend does when he realizes that this is serious. Then he needs Jin. And yeah, we'll close on that. Bye, Luther.
Now, remind me how monologues work.
You spend a monologue token and tell somebody you want to hear their inner monologue.
I want to hear what's in Hugh's mind. So I just take the tick out of the box. There we go. And I want to hear what Hugh is thinking as he storms out of the house, leaps onto his stallion, and gallops, hair all a kimber, through the park.
See. Okay. Why did that old man have to approach me so I was riding such a high wave of joy and happiness. And now I've made a fool of myself, even worse than normal. And now I haven't even properly asked Cedric, and he overheard me. This is the worst possible outcome for me. And I think that's it.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Do we want to do anything else with this novel phase? I don't think so, right? I think we've milked that. Okay, so let's go to reputation. Oh, I have to look at the sheets, and they're too small, and I hope you can hear me, and I'm not muted. I'm not. Great. Okay, so we have no vigilante, we have outlaws. At least we have one outlaw. That's Justine. So we start with you. Did you risk life and limb for a robbery, heist, or devilish crime?
Kinda. I don't know. Stealing letters is a devilish crime. I definitely did the second one though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. So, what would your positive tag be?
Slippery.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, and I get a positive reputation condition.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
And there is just one on this sheet. I know there are others, but I don't know where.
It's in the character roles, I think.
Oh, I get. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay. So, second pair of blades, you gain a follower, or what's the other one?
Yeah, the thing is, most of these are either create a connection or create a new connection, or I'll pick the one from the new arrival, quite indebted. Choose a connection until this condition is erased. This connection is in your depth for good deeds you performed while away.
Oh,
cool. Yeah, decide who that is. It's probably going to be Helen. Because it makes sense. Good deeds you performed while I was away. I'll think about it and come back to me.
Okay, cool.
Could it turn out that Helen Sapolsky is actually the Baroness Helen Sapolsky, who has been living this shadowy demi-monde life in London? Just saying.
I mean, that's probably why she's indebted to me, because I helped her get out of wherever she was and helped her set up this network. Yeah, sure, yeah, I'll do that. I don't think we'll see much of her anyway for the rest of this session, but
I don't think so either, but well, we'll see. We'll just keep it in mind. And can you get a negative tag if you've already gotten a positive one? I know we've done this before, but it seems weird, actually.
Yeah, well, it kind of makes sense for this because there's a civilian in a mask. There's a civilian in a mask, part of the negative tags.
Okay, so well, let's see. Gain a civilian positive tag if you acted in service, acted in obedience. I don't think. No, and you didn't even act in contravention, really, because there was not a huge audience to your.
I totally dropped an unintentional clue for the mask negative.
Oh, right. Yes, you did. But,
That means I get both a positive and a negative reputation. I'm fine with that. This is the last session.
Okay, right. So you are careless.
Sloppy.
Sloppy. Careless. Slippery. Sloppy and slippery. That has a nice ring to it. Exactly. Okay.
And I think that's the negative. Yeah, predictable methods. Every society knows about your methods. So if I try to just shtick again, they'll see me coming.
Cool. Now for the two, what are they? Bounty hunters. Annabelle, did you
Sorry, I definitely made a deal with, went easy on, or deliberately allowed a wrongdoer to escape.
Yes, you did.
And I think that's a negative masked one called Mercenary.
Oh, yes. Nice. What about the civilian ones? I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, did I act in contravention of society's conventions by one, listening in on that conversation, and then sharing it with the husband.
Could get a negative tag of gossipy, maybe?
I'm just wondering. What do we think?
Yeah, I think gossipy seems to be, I mean, you stood there and kind of maybe listened and then walked up to the husband, and then he had this total
Exactly.
meltdown. So yeah, it's not gossipy, I think, covers it
So,
very nicely.
so that's compromised, mercenary, and gossipy. So I now have a negative.
Yes.
Society believes you to be worse than those you hunt. A reward is announced for your arrest, dead or alive.
No.
Is that right?
Maybe, but you have, yes, you have to, you can also choose the negative condition of your character role.
Okay.
Which
Basically,
the character
dead.
role.
Those who will inherit your wealth take the liberty of making all your decisions for you, regardless. I don't have any relatives in the game, so I think that's a bit boring. Old and dull. Your age and behavior leads a connection important to you to ignore, laugh at, or openly contradict you. I have to say, given that 2 of the negatives are to do with my mask, I'd much rather take hunting hunter.
Okay, cool. That's your decision. Very nice. I have to look at Cedric. He's a bounty hunter too. Did I pursue a wrongdoer when it was highly dangerous? I think, yeah, it was at least dangerous. So I would think that, I mean, I pursued the Velvet Ghost and she threw knives at me. That's dangerous. So what would I get for a tag? I have already fearless and committed. Tenacious?
Tenacious, redoubtable.
Okay. I'll take that one. And I'll try to write it now. That would give me a positive tag. The force of the law. Huh. Okay. I would get a contact in the police. I would actually take that because all of my, I think I have to even, because all of my positive tags are masked tags. So I won't create the contact now because we're 1 hour before the finish line. So I guess that's kind of superfluous. Did I act in the service of duty and morality in a way that compromised my desires? Not exactly. But I didn't go in controversial either. Or does anything come to mind from one of you? Okay, so I'll leave it at that.
If he'd raced from the room and leapt onto the back of the stallion with Hugh, then that might have been in contravention. But I don't think we didn't.
Wouldn't have done that. Wouldn't have done that. No, no, not while my father lies dying on the floor. That one does not do that. Oh, and the charlatan. Hello, charlatan. Dramatically and publicly showed someone up or bested someone in a fight.
No.
Dramatically and publicly declared your passionate feelings for or gravely insulted someone.
Not as my masked identity.
But you didn't back down or act in a way that was unfashionable either, so I guess you're fine there. Civilian, yeah, well, I think you didn't gain a positive tag there.
No,
might have gained.
I think you did. You acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so. I think you put yourself out there in front of the Viscountess and declared love and sought, as properly you should have done, permission to marry.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, and I potentially am now going to be murdered because of that. So, all right. So let's put something there.
Proper? No. It's kind of weird.
Surprisingly respectful.
Yes, I like that. Respectful is good.
Hugh Botham has at least 2 personalities.
Mm.
It's true.
Mhm.
And I already did the -1.
Yeah.
Active in controversial societies, conventions, and I put in social pariah.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'd used up my 3rd and now have a new 3rd, now I have both negative reputation conditions for my character.
I can't marry you like that. I'm sorry.
You're going to have to do something very, very, very heroic.
I'm gonna get a boom box and I'm gonna play a song outside in Cedric's house.
The Justice Phantom thinks you should be arrested for noise disturbance or noise
Right.
disturbance. Okay.
We want to sleep in here.
Okay. So I guess we have done the reputation stuff, rumor, and scandal. Do we need any more rumors, or should we skip that since we've got only 1 hour left?
Yeah, I think we're fine. It says here, yeah, if it's we're in the last cycle, just skip this phase.
Okay, so do that. Let's do that.
I think just for the sake of completeness, the new outlaw, the Reaper, has been making the rounds.
Okay.
It wasn't the Justice Phantom after all.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Crime is it's weird that I think I would like to spread crime is out of control in Bedford Square because that would have gone to fading, but I want to spread it now because we've always referred to that rumor despite the fact that it wasn't really important. But I will fade the whole thing about the Justice Phantom. Unless somebody wants to spread this.
I now have a negative reputation condition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That I am. There's now I'm dead or alive. As the Reaper. Can I spend that to spread that rumor? Because there's a kind of there's a triangle there, isn't there? There's crimes going up. We thought it was Justice Phantom, but it's the Reaper. Up goes the reward. I
don't think you have to spend your. I don't think it works like that. I think you can only spend your thingy on.
Are you trying to spend your negative reputation tag?
That's what I thought, but
you can do that, but you have to do it in a way that makes your character look bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you would get a token.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look the resolve token reference. Yeah, you or any other player can trade your negative reputation tag for a resolve token and use this to bring your reputation into the story in a way that is harmful to your character's interests. When this happens, you get this resolve token.
Oh.
You can do the same with a positive tag, except it doesn't have to be harmful. You can just do it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so epistolary. We can maybe advance the evil plot a bit in the epistolary phase.
Like we can just say that Cedric's now the secretary of the prime minister.
Yes, like Cedric gets that letter that says, "Hello, Cedric, you are now the prime minister's secretary."
Can the letter be verbatim that? Hello, Cedric, you are now the secretary.
I think it's a bit more posh. More like to the attention of Lord Cedric Griffin, blah, blah, blah. He probably has some more titles. You are And I leave the rest to Alan because he can do it a lot better than I do.
It is with enormous pleasure that I am able to offer you the position of private secretary to the Prime Minister. I appreciate this is a significant elevation from your previous position in the Ministry of War, but you come most highly recommended, and therefore I have no doubt that you will be you will fulfill your duties with remarkable aptitude and talent. Signed, King George III.
Fanboy squeal in Griffin manner.
Intense rolling of eyes from Justine. I have a letter to Mrs. Annabelle Hargreaves. It's one sentence. It comes in comes from the Velvet Ghost. And it's one sentence. You have to answer for Frederica's misery.
I think that we see this, that the letter is received. She's standing in a window and she opens the letter, among many others, opens it and drops it. I think that Mrs. Hargreaves, I'm just trying to remember what exactly only Mrs. Hargreaves now knows. So Mrs. Hargreaves knows that there was a suspicious conversation between Dartmouth, some other South Coast town, between Dartmouth, and she's pretty certain that it was the Viscountess. So there's a plot. She's now heard Hugh Botham threatening the Viscountess about a plot.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, she will write to the Prime Minister saying anonymously, oh no, signed the Reaper. Prime Minister, I have reason to believe that there is a significant plot against the realm involving the Viscountess Griffin and Lord Dartmouth. And of course, this letter arrives on the desk of the Prime Minister's secretary.
Who probably has to read that.
And decide what to do with it.
Oh, right. Oh no. Oh my God. I will write a letter to you, Botham. And I'm very sorry for this. My dear Mr. Botham, it is with heavy heart that I must decline your gracious offer of marriage, as I am by now engaged to the lovely Lady Lavinia Dartmouth. Please be assured of my fondest thoughts and my wishes, that there are no hard feelings, and that our acquaintance might be untroubled by, well, this is a lot. It's a lot of blah blah and friendly phrasing what you will have to say, but it's really please go away. I can't see you anymore. My daddy's dead, and I have to marry this lady that is 17 and goes on my nerves. Oh yes, and he will write a letter to his sister where he complains about Lavinia. It's not so much complaining, it's more like, oh my God, I am now engaged favorably, good position, good family, and she is so young and unformed yet, and you can see between the lines that she goes immensely on his nerves.
And then I think the Reaper would like to write a second letter, if that's possible. This is to Laurentia Blythe, former Minister of War, now Home Secretary in charge of law and order, saying, "I didn't do it!" Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, the Reaper.
Hugh will write to Cedric. I understand. My behavior was appalling. I wish you a long life. Do not trust your mother.
Yeah, totally. Cedric's gonna. I think Justine writes a letter to Hugh. I think she's written a letter to Hugh every time we've done an epistolary phase, which is amusing to me. Dear Hugh, I'm not gonna lie. There was some immense pleasure taken at seeing your fall from grace. But I've learned recently that when all you try to do in life is fill it with pleasure, when it fades, what are you left with? And I think I want to figure out what it is we're left with then. Once you've picked yourself up from wherever you are, let's talk. Yours, Lady Justine.
Okay, so Hugh was going to write her as well, but now his letter is very different than what it was originally going to be. I have some slight business I must accomplish first, but please, let's meet as soon as possible. Perhaps we can meet where we used to when we were friends. And, meet you there in a fortnight.
I think, have I used up my letter? I'm never entirely certain how many letters one can write.
Two.
Oh, then I've used up 2.
Yes. Sorry. Okay, so I guess we're done with the epistolary phase, or does anybody have one left? I don't think so. Okay, very well. I would suggest that we take another break and meet at 10 past the hour, and then go into the next rooftop phase. Sorry, and then, I don't know, spoil this dastardly plot and get the masked murderers who want to kill the prime minister or something like that, or maybe just talk about feelings. I'm not sure. I'm a bit sorry about Luther.
No, come on. I mean, he's been setting up to have an apoplectic fit for 3 weeks now. So
yes, that's true. That was yes, that was a natural end to his arc.
Exactly. And therefore he's, you know, it was going to happen, Sabine. Don't feel guilty about it. It's fine. He's in a better place.
Without his wife.
Which I think is probably a better place given what we're finding about her.
Yeah. How are you holding up, Scott?
Head still hurts. So after the game, I'm going to lay down in the dark. Supposed to have another game tonight, so.
Okay.
Yeah, hope to see you at that game because you missed out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, and that one's creeping up closer and closer to the finale next week, so I don't want to miss tonight. So I'm just going to lay down in the dark.
Good luck.
And we've got, what, 2, 5? Yeah, we got 2 hours, so 2.5 after this game. So.
Actually, hold on. I'm going to turn on different lights. This backlit is not working.
I got one of these weird selfie things. So it's got a ring light on it because the lighting in this house is horrible for video chat.
Yeah, that's better. Okay. We have a rooftop phase. Does anybody have anything that they want to do?
Yes. It seems to be natural that the Reaper. I see the Reaper's becoming more and more Batman now. You know, despite everything I do for this city, I'm now being pursued by the police as worse than the people I put down. And so I think that the Reaper, we'll see the Reaper on the rooftop of Bedford Square, because she knows that Viscountess Griffin is a bad egg. And I would just love to have a scene where the Justice Phantom and his newly acquired contact in the police try to capture her so we can have a bit of repartee while we fence up and down the rooftops.
Oh yes, nothing like a good chase of a dastardly villain to take one's thoughts off the fact that our mother might be evil and our father is dead. Yeah, let's chase her. She's evil. She's bad.
And I wouldn't mind if that was a 3-way involving the Velvet Ghost, or even a 4-way, because I'm just curious what the Lancashire Lover is interested in doing. Because I think there might be quite a bit of 4-way repartee here. Because so far, Cedric has been given all the clues, but seems determined to do nothing with it. And I'd quite like some of those clues to reach Lady Justine.
Maybe we should have this. Maybe we should have the scene with the ghost and the lover before we have this 4-way thing, so we can see where they are and then see how they would work themselves into this scene.
Let's see. Where do we usually meet? I'm thinking it's. For some reason I want to say it's on top of a church. It was either that or underneath.
Assassin's Creed style. Let's do that.
Yeah, and I think Justine got there first, and she has a picnic basket and a bottle of wine poking out of the basket.
There is
Right.
one of those large, what's it called, Hawksworth, white London churches on the corner of Bedford Square, strangely.
Well, to be fair, there's a cathedral or a castle or a ruin on every corner in England.
True. That's true.
In fact, I
yeah.
speak to you now from the basement of a tower. That's
Yeah, I was on one of those ABC tours. Another bloody castle. It was like, how many freaking castles can we see in 12 days? Good God. So, all right. So yeah, I approach, clambering up the cathedral to the tallest point. This always was the loveliest view in the square.
Yeah. This is the first time I've been back since.
I too haven't brought myself to come here unless it was with you.
What kept you that day, though?
I was doing this job and I fell from the rooftop and broke my leg. Do you recall when Hugh missed several dances
Yes, I do recall.
because of a hunting accident? That was why.
Yes, I recall. If I recall, Lady Justine had to miss those same dances because she got shot through the leg.
It is what a life we lead.
So why do we lead it then?
It's all for love. It's all for love. These old bones, they're not going to keep up with this life, though.
What? You're telling me the Lancashire lover, they're done?
No, there should always be a lover. The Lancashire lover's goal is timeless. I'll have to find a mentor, a mentee, and pass along the mantle. Retire in peace.
Well, I hope you have good luck with that.
Well, retirement looks to be a bit different than I thought now that I've ruined myself in public
Oh, come
in
on.
literally every way possible in front of society.
Oh, come on. I didn't take Hugh Botham to be so lily-livered. Why are they suddenly vacuuming outside? Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, give me a sec.
You were right. I don't give up. You're right. I've needed your counsel all this time. I was going to sit there and wallow in my sorrow. But you're right. Hugh doesn't give up.
Well, you seem pretty directionless without me, so.
It's true. It's true. We made better partners.
You might find that you might not have me around for soon enough.
Don't say that.
I think she takes off her mask. Just kind of like Christine says, I've had a revelation lately, Q. This place, this life, it's just that bit too small. And if I stick around, who knows what'll happen. So I'm going. Probably quite soon.
Wherever you go, you should keep me informed of your whereabouts. When I find my when I'm able to pass along the mantle, I can join you if you want me along.
I think that would be fine if you can keep up.
Yeah, that would be wonderful, even if I fail at keeping up.
Yeah, I think this is the moment when we can cut away.
Yeah.
About some more chats about bullshit.
Yeah,
And
I have a picture of us kind of coming out from the two of you sitting there on the roof, the tower of the church, and then scans across to Bedford Square, where we see the Reaper hunched next to a chimney, spying on the Griffin house.
Yes, and we can also see some policemen coming, well, lurking their way up to Bedford Square, and then suddenly you hear this pipe or whistle. You hear this whistle going off, and somebody points at you and says, "Stand!" And then you hear behind. When you see these people down on the ground, and they look up, and some of them see, one of them points at you. There they are. There he is. And you're on the rooftop. What can they do? They're down. But then you hear a voice from behind you. "I think I have got you. Stand in the name of justice." And of course, Justice Phantom.
My arch enemy, the Justice Phantom, I presume.
Yes. No, he doesn't say that. He's like, "I don't know that I am your arch enemy, but if you will."
You've always envied my success, Phantom. This entire charade is a creation of your envy.
"You are a villain. What are you doing here, lurking? What good and rightful purpose can you have?"
I'm doing my job. I am in pursuit of great criminals.
Oh, and that's why you watched the Noble Griffin house.
Oh, the noble Griffin house. Oh, yes. So noble are they. Did you know, Phantom? Did you know that the Viscountess is improperly involved with Lord Dartmouth?
"You dare impugn on the honor of the Viscountess," and he will just his rapier will just slash into your direction.
Up and down the roof. While in true Hearts of Wulin style, the conversation continues.
Yes, of course. Yes.
And we come to, it's one of those kind of up close. And the Reaper will say, and not just that. Do you know that Hugh Botham tried to blackmail the Viscountess? Such was the body of evidence.
You Botham's cheek nigh killed the Viscount, and you slander his widow. Have not expected anything less from you.
And do you know that the daughter of the house is in fact a masked outlaw?
Okay, this is getting serious now, because now you've hit something he already knew and he doesn't want to be known. He says, "Say no more. Nothing but lies come from your mouth."
And did you know that the son of the house knows all of this and yet keeps the secret. What say you to that, Phantom?
And I don't know, I have an answer to that. I will, I think I slip. At that point, I just slip, and then we're on a rooftop, right? So
Yep.
I'll just, I'll drop the rapier. No, yeah, I'll drop the rapier, and I tumble, and then I'm hanging on my hands from some kind of drain pipe or something like that. And it's a bit precarious.
And I think the Reaper walks gently down the slope and looks down at you with your hands are on the edge of the roof, and squats down beside you and says, "And you call yourself a bounty hunter of quality. You would take my mantle as the premier bounty hunter of London. Do you think you deserve it, Phantom?"
What proof have you of these allegations?
In the end, Phantom, every bounty hunter makes a judgment. Now, you can join me and bring an end to this evil, or I can leave you here. Go ahead, Phantom. Make my day.
Make your day what? Reaper, I know not what you speak of.
Join me? Or maybe your friends down there can pick up the pieces.
If you have proof that would convince me, then tell me. I will not trust blindly, just on your word, just on your say-so.
And can I suggest at this point the camera pans back to the church where we see our other protagonists. Their attention is drawn to the and the whistle blowing.
Justine, your brother seems to be in trouble. Should we help?
Yeah, she's already running down.
Run down there and
Yeah.
I rip off my mask when I get there. Cedric!
The Reaper will want to get in the way.
You're revealed.
Because I think the Reaper wants, when hearing this kind of clattering across the rooftops, the Reaper will turn and say, the Lancashire lover. Just in time. And I looked down at Cedric and say, and it appears your sister is coming to your aid.
Reaper, would you kindly let my brother up?
Well, with the Reaper's attention drawn elsewhere, I think Cedric will draw himself up at least a bit.
So I think the Reaper now is backing off because there are three of you. But the Reaper will say the same thing to Justine as she said to Cedric. Justine, I know you're under there. And I've been trying to explain to the Justice Phantom that your family is rotten to the core. You an outlaw, your mother conspiring with Lord Dartmouth. I even think I smelt a whiff of almonds when I knelt over your father's body.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm sorry to have to confirm this, Justine. Your mother. Well, I can confirm that your father had suspicions your mother was conspiring with Lord Dartmouth.
What is their goal? What is the aim of their plot? And I'm taking off my mask because everybody seems to know anyway who I am. And then I will look at the Reaper. Dear Reaper, since we are all stand unmasked here, it would lend your great credence if you would show your face.
I think before you can do that, I think actually Justine's kind of just been staring at the Reaper, and she says, "When I last saw you, you shouted something at the ivory stiletto. What did you say?"
I told her that her mother loved her.
Did she? Did you?
Wow.
Yes, I did.
Well played.
If you did, then why did she have the life that she had? Why was her eyes filled with nothing but pain?
Because I didn't know, damn you. I didn't know. It was only the day before I rescued her in this very house, gave her an option, gave her the chance to escape. It was only then that I knew that she was my daughter.
So where were you all this time?
I had no choice because of men like him. Point at Hugh Botham.
I look at you and say, do you understand what's going on?
Yeah, you're muted, Scott.
Yeah, kind of. But it's a long story. The past.
Well, the ivory stiletto isn't long in the past.
Yeah. But some of us have history that goes further back.
Don't we just, Hugh? Don't we just?
Yep.
I think on this, Justine just like raised her hand, like, I'm done. I'm done. This is all bullshit. And I think she just says like, I guess all mothers are fated to disappoint their children. And she kind of puts her mask back on, turns her back on you.
Justine, do you know where Frederica is?
Not anywhere near you.
I don't need to see her, but I need to know that you could get something to her.
What?
The money that Lord Dartmouth paid me to stay silent on the plot he has hatched with your mother. And I toss her the money that Dartmouth gave me.
I think
Get it so that she can have a good life.
I'm gonna grab the money. I'm trying my hardest not to look at Ms. Hargreaves, and I think I just turned to the other two. Sorry, who'd just been silent there. Sorry about that. And she said, and Justine says like to Cedric, she says like, well, all about justice, right, Cedric?
She killed people, murdered them in their sleep, Justine.
Well,
don't say it doesn't matter. Don't say that.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't, but what this one says is true, you have a lot to clean up here. When you're done here, come find us.
I think better not if you're with her.
Sorry, say that again. Your internet dropped off.
Oh, sorry. I think I had better not if you are with her. I love you, Justine, and I won't chain you down here. But I cannot. I cannot stand this thought of my sister with a murderer. Not just somebody who kills in the heat of passion, but somebody who coldly creeps into a bedchamber and slits the throat of a sleeping person.
Sorry, I don't know what the fuck that was. I think she's gonna just laughs and just looks at Hugh and just says, "Oh, I guess I know what it feels like then, Hugh, when love really hurts."
Tell her if she hurts you, then I will hunt her to the end of the world.
Cedric, I love you, but good luck on that.
I promise you. And I'll give you a hug.
Yeah. Give you a hug back. And then I kind of like turned to Hugh and just said like, well, it turns out sooner than I expected, but yeah, I think oh, go on. Sorry, I saw you on mute there.
You must stay long enough to find out the truth of your mother.
I don't think.
Your brother's naive.
Time to grow up, Lady Justine.
What exactly is our mother planning? You have said vague things about plots and Lord Dartmouth and...
I don't have enough details, but it was convenient that the star of your career rose so suddenly.
Yes, it was.
There are
But
a dozen young men better qualified for the post you now hold.
I know that. I was worried myself. But well, if we can forgive one murderer, then maybe we can forgive another.
Is that what it's come to, Phantom?
Well, what has it come to? Should I forgive Frederica? Or should I forgive my mother? I don't know. I really don't know. Because I think both should be persecuted to the end of the law. And for both, that would mean the death penalty. You know that. And I'm not convinced that my mother is so evil as to be beyond all saving.
Frederica is gone. Frederica will never kill again. Frederica will be loved. Your mother is dangerous.
But has she not? Is this not the end of her plot? What more could she want?
Why don't we find out? And Justine's gonna march off into the house.
All right. I guess that's what we're going to do. And I'll put on my mask again
Absolutely.
and follow her.
Yeah, I think the Reaper will remask as well. And as the twins stalk off, the Reaper will whisper to Hugh, if they confront the mother, search her room.
I will. Also, you look fabulous. You've aged much better than I.
Oh, Hugh.
Do we want to go to what's another novel phase after this, or do we?
I don't know.
Continue with a rooftop phase.
I think we should. Maybe we have 15 to 20 minutes left. So I think we should finish this in this phase, because going to a novel phase, that would be weird now.
So we just do this now and then just skip to the epistolary. Which is the epilogues.
Yeah, the epilogue phase.
I bet we're wearing our civilian clothes underneath these outfits and we just appear in the Griffin house. Tongue was in cheek, honest. Carry on.
We'll follow you, but I mean, Cedric will follow you, Justine, to wherever you're going to do this.
I'm just going off to find our mother.
Okay.
And just kind of distract her while other people go to rooms to find evidence. I think probably barge into the sitting room.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to spend a resolve token, please, to have her discover the Viscountess in flagrante delicto with Lord Dartmouth.
Ooh!
Wow!
Yeah, right. He should be there.
Okay, so I'm passing that over to you, Justine, Velvet Ghost.
Okay. I think barge into the door. See.
Who are you?
Well, isn't this amazing? Viscountess Sybil Griffin. Well, your husband isn't even cold in the ground.
What a lady does in a lady's bedroom is her business. Who are you, masked fools?
He is married. And I'm looking at Lord Dartmouth.
His adultery is his fault, not mine.
Oh, don't play as if you're the one hoodwinked in this scenario, Viscountess. We know how your mind works. After all, we've had to... Actually, no, I'm going to redact that because Justine was about to reveal who they were. You know, your mind works, Viscountess.
Actually, I'm going to spend one of her tokens to trigger your brash condition.
Ooh.
To have you react recklessly.
Okay. Yes.
So
we know. Yeah. I'll complete that sentence.
That's up to you because it would affect your character.
Yeah, I think Justine has given up on caring about all this shit. She was gonna leave anyway. So yes, I think I'll complete that sentence. Like, we know how your minds work. After all, I've had to live under its tutelage for so long. Like, let me tell you, New York was reprieved from having to figure you out.
I was a wonderful mother.
Says who?
I am the best judge of myself.
I think Justine kind of sits down and just kind of like looks at us like, really? Wouldn't this evidence of your daughter being a vagabond of the night count against you?
No, it clearly must be a fault of her father. I made no mistakes.
Did you truly poison him?
What? Of course I did not. I have never harmed another human being.
I'd like
truthfully say that.
I would like to spend a resolve token.
All right.
For a memory, actually, of when she was angry about something and really went into a maid and pushed her down the stairs. So she broke both legs, and then she threw her out of the house. So I can say, what about Emily?
She didn't throw her out of the house. Emily's neck broke. You were just told that Emily was thrown out of the house. Emily did not properly warm my bed. I will not get into a cold bed. It is unforgivable. She deserved to die.
And what unforgivable thing did your husband do? Did he drink too much? Did he drink too little? Wasn't he paying you enough compliments? Did he warm your
shared my bed voluntarily in years? Do you think I would cavort with this pig if my husband would have had relations with me?
Well, Lord Darthmon looks so offended.
And so you poisoned father.
Yes. A woman has needs, and he did not meet them anymore, and he suspected me.
What are your plans? Why am I? And I'm throwing down my mask. Why am I in this position where I don't belong? What do you want? Why did you do this?
I did it for you because I love you. I don't love your sister, however. She's a whore.
She's your heir.
Whatever.
Yeah,
she was his favorite, not mine.
A title I will take to the grave.
I'd like to spend a resolve token, please, to have the senior Bow Street runner overhear all this from outside the room.
I don't know. This is going against our family.
I wasn't going to give it to you.
Yeah, but okay.
You can just spend it. It just goes
yeah,
away.
I mean, it goes to the Viscountess. She's fine with that.
Yeah. We're near the end.
Well, yeah, I have to say that was in my mind, but
because it's either that or, I mean, so out of character, it's either something along those lines, or we find enough material evidence to do it, to turn her in, or we kill her.
Or Lord Dartmouth kills her.
Right, or Lord Dartmouth admits to conspiring with her. So
yeah, or he kills her because she's just been pretty horrible to him.
I kind of want to keep it to her being arrested or anything, because the tone. I don't know if killing her. I don't know.
Right,
even though we have been fair.
As a rom-com, she should be arrested because she's stupid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's overreached herself.
Yeah, one monologue too many.
Yes. True.
What? Who is this police? This is, in my day, the police would not touch a lady. They would not touch a viscountess. Do you know who you're arresting, young man?
I know who you are.
You've murdered your husband. You've just admitted to it.
Now then, madam, come along quietly.
He just barks all the way away, complaining about mishandling of the nobility by the commoners.
I think can they take Lord Dartmouth away so I can have a quick chat with my brother?
Maybe Lord Dartmouth just slinks out of the room and hopes to stay.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have thought there's a good chance that Sybil Griffin over her shoulder would say, and it was all his idea.
Yes.
So they're both marched off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that went well.
Is that you?
Cedric, would you like to go out on the town tonight?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Would you like to go out on the town tonight? Celebrate. You've got a new job. You're free of your mother.
My mother just admitted to killing my father.
But she's been arrested. Justice has been served.
Your sister's going to America with a pot of money, and you will inherit the
And a
title.
murderer. You know what? I really need a drink.
Yes. And I know just the place.
Finally, someone with sensible ideas. Come on, I know a person. Yeah, we you know a place.
You are now
Yeah.
in possession of a family house and its cellar.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go somewhere else.
Don't wanna
Let's
stay in
go.
this house.
Let's go to some dive that you know, Justine, and let's keep our masks kind of on, because I've got a reputation. Kind of. I want to maintain it. In some way, at least.
I can't help feeling we may have reached that point where we need some epilogues.
Yes. Yes. I think so too.
I appreciate
that did end with like a
novel scene in a in Helen Sapolsky's kind of time, but given the time.
Yes.
yeah. But most what happened is like Justine would get drunk and start telling Annabelle about Freddy in ways she probably didn't want to hear.
Yeah, and probably the Reverend Pluckett would drunkenly tell somebody about birds.
Yeah, and then Justine would shift back and say, "Well, do you know about shoe bills? They suck." And I don't know, maybe Cedric and Hugh would have some sort of tender conversation in the corner, and we'll just leave them be.
Yes, please. At least he doesn't have to marry Lavinia.
So what about some epilogic scenes?
Yeah. Well, the way this game works is that the last epistolary is kind of the epilogue.
Oh, really? Oh, right. Okay, then.
Write a letter, one letter, to like sum up kind of what their final state is.
Then Mrs. Annabelle Hargreaves will write a letter to Frederica Isles, care of the Lady Justine Griffin. My dear Frederica, you cannot know how sad I am that I only came to know you very briefly. And I know that many of the things that you have done in the pain of my not knowing you for so many years. Now, as I sit in a cell awaiting the executioner, my only hope is that my service to the crown in helping to unmask the recent plot will lead to a pardon. I hope that this letter reaches you in the loving hands of Lady Justine, who I believe truly cares for you. And I hope that the fun she brings with her will, in some way, enable you to lead a happier life from this time. Your loving mother, Annabelle Hargreaves.
So did Justine went to America or no?
I think she totally did.
Okay.
She did go.
All right. So that's going to inform. All right. So I'll do my epilogue. It's a letter to her. Sabine, feel free to veto any of this as it comes up. I'll change it as necessary. My dearest Justine, I hope that you have found the colonies welcoming. I would love to come visit, but Cedric and I have just returned from a grand tour of the continent. It was refreshing not to wear the mask for so long. My mentee is taking up the mantle quite well. Have no fear. Love will win out. And that's it. The end.
In that case, I think I will write to Mrs. Hargreaves, actually. And I will write, Dear Mrs. Hargreaves, please know that I'm relentlessly working on justice being done and that your freedom should be imminent. I have spoken to many people I know in the ministry. And once this unpleasantness has been over for you, I would love to chat with you about maybe a position as an advisor to my newly created Justice Department in the Ministry of War. Faithfully yours, Lord Cedric Griffin Botham.
I think Lady Justine writes a letter to her brother. Dear Cedric, sometimes I fear that I have saddled you with two great tasks. One, the rehabilitation of the Griffin name, and two, the rehabilitation of one Hugh Botham. Sometimes I fear that... No, I think that's crossed out. I know that I have been terribly selfish in handing in just, well, dumping all this on you. I can only soothe myself with the knowledge that I know you to be tremendously capable in every way, with a heart that wants to welcome kindness and trust and give it back in full. I only hope that... No. I don't need to hope. I know. However you are, however you're doing, you're flourishing. And rest assured that your sister loves you.
Well, that was great.
That was a very satisfying ending.
We did it!
Yeah, we did it. And it's 11 o'clock. It is 11 o'clock here, so on the hour ending this. And Alan, if you maybe could stop the broadcast, then we can see goodbye to all the nice people on the internet. By internet, everybody wave.